Today, we're taking a deep dive into one of the most powerful yet misunderstood settings on your camera, ISO. Whether you're shooting on film or digital, ISO represents your camera's sensitivity to light. It's the magic setting that lets you shoot in the dark. In digital cameras, changing your ISO doesn't change the sensor itself. Instead, it amplifies the electronic signal the sensor receives. ISO is the third pillar of the exposure triangle. Together with aperture and shutter speed, it determines how bright or dark your photo will be. By increasing your ISO, you can make a dark scene look bright without needing to change your lens or how long the shutter stays open. Most cameras start at 100, where your camera is at its cleanest and most detailed. In full sun, you have plenty of light. There's no need to amplify anything, so stick to 100 for the best quality, but amplification comes at a cost. Just like turning up a radio too loud creates static, turning up ISO creates digital noise. Noise or grain appears as tiny specks in your shadows. It can reduce the sharpness and color accuracy of your images. At very high levels, noise can wash out fine details, making your photos look muddy rather than crisp. Every time you double your ISO, say from 100 to 200, you are doubling the sensor's sensitivity to light. If you move into the shade or if it's a cloudy day, ISO 400 is usually the sweet spot for maintaining a fast shutter speed. When shooting indoors, light levels drop significantly. You'll often need to reach for ISO 800 or 1600 to keep your photos bright. For dimly lit events like parties or concerts, ISO 3200 is often necessary to capture the moment without blur. Sometimes you need high ISO even in daylight. To freeze fast-moving sports, you need a very high shutter speed. Using ISO 800 in the sun lets you use those ultra-fast shutter speeds, ensuring your subject is sharp and blur-free. Another hidden cost of high ISO is a loss in dynamic range, the ability of your camera to see detail in both bright highlights and dark shadows. You might also notice colors look a bit flatter or less vibrant as you push your ISO to its extreme limits. Keep in mind, larger sensors, like full-frame cameras, usually handle high ISO noise much better than smaller phone or crop sensors. Modern cameras are so good that ISO 3200 today looks cleaner than ISO 400 did just a decade ago. For most beginner cameras, ISO 800 is a safe upper limit where you won't see much quality loss. Don't let a low ISO ruin your shot. If your shutter speed gets too slow, your hands will shake and the photo will be blurry. Remember this, a sharp, grainy photo is almost always better than a clean, blurry one. You can fix grain, but you can't fix blur. Don't be afraid to push that ISO if it means getting a sharp photo of a fleeting moment. If you're shooting landscapes at night, use a tripod. This lets you use a very slow shutter speed so you can keep your ISO at 100. Similarly, if you want everything in focus with a small aperture, you'll need to increase your ISO to compensate for the smaller hole. Auto ISO is a great tool. You can set a limit like 3200 so the camera won't go higher than you're comfortable with. It's perfect for street photography, where light changes fast, allowing you to focus on your composition and timing. Another mistake is underexposing a dark photo just to keep ISO low. Boosting exposure later in editing actually creates more noise. Today's AI denoisers are incredible. They can clean up high ISO shots in seconds, making scary ISO levels usable. Do a quick search for your camera's native ISO. It's often 100, but some cameras have two different native levels for even better quality. Here is a quick cheat sheet for you to remember. Start at 100 for sun and 400 for shade. Move to 1600 for typical indoor lighting and 3200 or higher for dark night scenes. Mastering ISO is all about balancing the light you have with the quality you want. Respect the grain, but don't fear it.